Maya Johnson loved to dance. The 13-year-old had been taking ballet classes for 5 years now. Every time she put on her pink tights and black leotard, she felt like she could fly. Her father, Marcus, worked 2 jobs to pay for her lessons. He believed in his daughter's dream. The Jefferson Dance Academy was the best in town. Getting accepted there was a big deal. Maya practiced for months before her audition. When the acceptance letter came, she jumped up and down with excitement. Marcus hugged her tight, his eyes wet with pride. "You did it, baby girl," he said. "I always knew you would." Maya's first few months at the academy went well. She made friends with other dancers and improved quickly. Her teacher, Ms. Williams, often told her she had natural talent, but everything changed when Ms. Williams went on maternity leave. Mr. Reynolds took over the class. He was tall with gray hair and a strict teaching style. The other girls seemed nervous around him, but Maya didn't understand why at first. "Today we'll work on proper posture," Mr. Reynolds announced one afternoon. "Maya, come to the front. You'll be our example." Maya walked to the front of the class, feeling proud to be chosen. Mr. Reynolds stood behind her and placed his hands on her shoulders. That seemed normal, but then his hands moved down to her waist, lingering there longer than necessary. "The perfect dancer's body," he said quietly. Something in his voice made Maya's stomach feel strange. After class, Mr. Reynolds asked Maya to stay behind. "You have real potential," he told her. "I think you should take private lessons with me." Maya didn't know what to say. Being noticed by a teacher was good, right? She nodded and thanked him. The private lessons started the following week. During the first session, Mr. Reynolds kept touching Maya's arms, back, and legs to correct her form. His hands stayed too long each time. Maya felt uncomfortable but told herself this was normal in ballet training. "You're special, Maya," he whispered once, his breath warm against her ear. "Not like the other girls." At home that night, Maya couldn't sleep. Something felt wrong, but she didn't know how to explain it. Her father noticed her picking at her dinner. "Everything okay at dance class?" Marcus asked. "Yeah, just tired," Maya lied. She didn't want to disappoint her dad after all the money he spent on her lessons. The next week, Mr. Reynolds gave Maya a small gift, special ballet shoes. "Don't tell the other students," he said with a wink. "This is just between us." During another private lesson, Mr. Reynolds stood very close behind Maya as she practiced at the bar. His hands moved from her shoulders down to her hips. "Beautiful form," he said, his voice different somehow. Maya caught his eyes in the mirror. The way he looked at her made her skin crawl. That night, Maya pretended to be sick. "I don't think I can go to ballet tomorrow," she told her father. Over the next 2 weeks, Maya made up more excuses: homework, headaches, stomach pain. Marcus grew worried. His daughter, who once couldn't wait for dance class, now seemed to avoid it completely. "Baby, what's really going on?" Marcus asked one evening, sitting on the edge of her bed. "You used to love ballet more than anything." Maya looked down at her hands. Tears filled her eyes. She wanted to speak but felt scared. "You can tell me anything," Marcus said softly. "Anything at all." Maya took a deep breath. It was time to tell the truth. Marcus held his daughter's hand as tears rolled down her face. His heart beat fast as he waited for Maya to speak. "It's Mr. Reynolds," Maya finally said, her voice shaking. "He makes me feel weird, Dad." "Weird how, sweetheart?" Marcus asked gently. Maya looked down at her pink bedspread. "He touches me a lot during lessons. Not like Ms. Williams did. She would just tap my arm or fix my foot position. But Mr. Reynolds..." She paused, wiping her eyes. "His hands stay too long. He stands too close. And he says things." "What kind of things?" Marcus felt his stomach tighten. "He says I have a perfect dancer's body. He whispers things in my ear during private lessons. He gave me special shoes and said not to tell anyone." Maya's words came faster now. "Last week, he took pictures of me practicing. He said they were for my portfolio, but he didn't take pictures of any other girls." Marcus tried to stay calm for Maya's sake, but inside he was boiling with anger. "Has he ever touched you? In private places?" Maya shook her head quickly. "No, but I feel like maybe he wants to. I get this bad feeling when he's near me." Marcus pulled his daughter into a hug. You did the right thing telling me, Maya. You didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to take care of this. Are you mad at me? Maya asked in a small voice. Never, Marcus said firmly. I'm proud of you for being brave enough to tell me. The next morning, Marcus called in sick to work. After taking Maya to school, he drove to the local library and used a computer to search for information about Jefferson Dance Academy and Mr. Reynolds. What he found shocked him. In a small news article from 5 years ago, a parent had accused a male instructor at the academy of inappropriate behavior with a student. The academy denied everything, and the story disappeared quickly. The instructor wasn't named, but Marcus was sure it was Reynolds. Marcus called his sister, Tanya, who worked as a school counselor. You need to document everything, Tanya advised. Ask Maya to write down specific dates and what happened. Take photographs of any gifts he gave her, and contact other parents from the class. You might not be alone in this. That evening, Marcus helped Maya write down everything she could remember about her uncomfortable experiences with Mr. Reynolds. She remembered 6 specific incidents where his touching made her uncomfortable. Is this enough? Maya asked, looking at the paper. Your story is enough, Marcus assured her. I believe you, and that's what matters. The next day, Marcus saw a mother from Maya's dance class at school pickup. Her daughter, Zoe, had started at the academy the same time as Maya. Can we talk for a minute? Marcus asked her. About the dance academy? The woman, Karen, seemed nervous. What about it? Has your daughter ever mentioned feeling uncomfortable around Mr. Reynolds? Karen's face changed immediately. Why? Has something happened with Maya? She's been having some troubling experiences, Marcus said carefully. I'm trying to figure out if other students have too. Karen looked around to make sure no one was listening. Zoe asked to quit ballet 3 weeks ago. She wouldn't tell me why, just that she didn't like it anymore. But she used to love it. She paused. You think something's happening with this teacher? I don't think. I know, Marcus said firmly. And I have a feeling Maya isn't the first. They exchanged phone numbers, and Karen promised to talk to Zoe again. That night, after Maya went to bed, Marcus sat at the kitchen table planning his next steps. He would need to confront the academy's director, possibly file a police report, and find a lawyer. The path ahead would be difficult, but Marcus was determined. No one was going to hurt his daughter and get away with it. Not again. The Jefferson Dance Academy building stood tall and impressive, with large glass windows and a fancy sign. Marcus took a deep breath before walking through the front doors. He had made an appointment with Ms. Diane Foster, the academy director, and carried a folder with Maya's written account under his arm. The front desk lady led Marcus to a large office with ballet pictures on the walls. Ms. Foster, a thin woman with gray hair pulled into a tight bun, stood up to shake his hand. Mr. Johnson, what can I help you with today? She asked with a polite smile. Marcus sat down and placed the folder on her desk. I need to discuss a serious problem involving Mr. Reynolds and my daughter Maya. Miss Foster's smile faded slightly. Oh, what seems to be the issue? My daughter has experienced inappropriate behavior from Mr. Reynolds, Marcus said, keeping his voice steady. Unwanted touching during lessons, strange comments about her body, and private photography sessions she felt uncomfortable with. Miss Foster's face hardened. She opened the folder and quickly scanned Maya's written account. Mr. Johnson, she said, folding her hands on the desk, I understand your concern as a parent. However, ballet is a physical art form. Teachers must correct posture and form through touch. It's standard practice. This goes beyond standard practice, Marcus insisted. My daughter is afraid to come to class now. Miss Foster sighed. Children often misinterpret corrections as something else. Mr. Reynolds is one of our most respected instructors with 20 years of experience. Did you know there was a complaint against him 5 years ago? Marcus asked. The director's eyes narrowed. That situation was a misunderstanding, investigated and dismissed. By who? Marcus pressed. The academy itself, or proper authorities. Mr. Johnson, Miss Foster's voice turned cold. These are serious accusations that could ruin a man's career. Perhaps Maya is struggling with the demands of professional ballet training. Some students find the discipline challenging. Marcus felt his anger rising. Are you suggesting my daughter is making this up because ballet is too hard for her? Maya has been dancing since she was 8. She loves ballet. What she doesn't love is being touched inappropriately by her teacher. Lower your voice, please, Miss Foster said sharply. I'm simply suggesting that young girls sometimes exaggerate situations for attention. Marcus stood up, unable to remain seated. Maya didn't want attention. She tried to hide what was happening because she was embarrassed and confused. Perhaps we could move her to another class, Miss Foster offered, away from Mr. Reynolds, and let him continue with other students. Marcus shook his head. No, I want a formal investigation, and I've already spoken with another parent whose daughter suddenly wanted to quit after years of loving ballet. Miss Foster's face paled slightly. Who? That's not important right now, Marcus said. What's important is that you take these allegations seriously. We take all parent concerns seriously, Mr. Johnson, she said, her professional mask back in place. I will speak with Mr. Reynolds and look into the matter. That's not enough, Marcus said firmly. I want a written acknowledgement of my complaint and information about your investigation process, and I want Mr. Reynolds removed from teaching until this is resolved. That's simply not possible without more evidence. Miss Foster stood up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have another appointment. Marcus picked up his folder. I hoped you would do the right thing, Miss Foster, but it seems you're more concerned with protecting your academy's reputation than the children in your care. Be careful with your accusations, Mr. Johnson, she warned. Defamation is a serious matter. As Marcus walked out of the academy, his phone buzzed. It was Karen, Zoe's mother. Zoe finally told me everything. Her text read, "We need to talk." She wasn't the only one. Marcus looked back at the beautiful Dance Academy building. Behind those fancy glass windows, something ugly was happening, and now he knew the people in charge wanted to keep it hidden. This isn't over, he whispered to himself as he got into his car. Not by a long shot. Marcus met Karen and 3 other mothers at a small coffee shop 2 miles from the Dance Academy. The women sat nervously around a corner table, speaking in low voices. I'm Lisa, said a woman with short blonde hair. My daughter Emma quit ballet 6 months ago. She loved dancing since she was 4, and suddenly hated it. Now I know why. And I'm Vanessa, said another mother, her hands wrapped tightly around her coffee cup. My Gabrielle still attends, but she cries before every class. When I asked why, she just said Mr. Reynolds makes her uncomfortable. The third woman, Tina, looked down at the table. My daughter is too scared to speak up, but I've seen how she flinches when that man comes near her. Marcus nodded. We need more information. Has anyone heard about the complaint from 5 years ago? The women shook their heads, except for Karen. I asked around, Karen said. A girl named Jasmine Thompson and her father filed the complaint, but the academy made them sign some paper to keep quiet. A non-disclosure agreement, Marcus said, frowning. We need to find this Jasmine. That evening, Marcus searched online for information about Jasmine Thompson. He found nothing about the complaint but discovered she now worked at a community center teaching dance to children from low-income families. The next day, Marcus visited the community center. Jasmine was in her 20s, with her hair in neat braids. When Marcus mentioned Jefferson Dance Academy, her smile disappeared. I can't talk about that, she said, looking around nervously. I signed papers. My daughter Maya is going through something similar, Marcus explained, with Mr. Reynolds. Jasmine's eyes widened, then filled with tears. They said he would get counseling. They promised he wouldn't teach young girls anymore. He's still there, Marcus said gently, and still hurting students. Jasmine sat down heavily. They paid my father $25,000 and made us sign papers saying we wouldn't tell anyone. My dad needed the money for my brother's medical bills. She looked up at Marcus. I felt guilty for years, wondering if other girls got hurt because I stayed quiet. This isn't your fault, Marcus assured her. You were a child then, but now you can help stop him. How? Jasmine asked. I signed those papers. I know a lawyer who specializes in child protection cases, Marcus said. Her name is Diana Williams. She might be able to help. NDAs can't legally cover up crimes against children. Jasmine thought for a moment, then nodded. I'll talk to her. I can't let this continue. The next day, Marcus, Jasmine, and the four mothers met with Diana Williams at her office. The lawyer listened carefully to each story, taking detailed notes. "The Academy is hoping to intimidate you into silence," Diana explained. "They're counting on your fear and isolation, but together, you're much stronger." "What can we do?" Marcus asked. "First, we file separate police reports," Diana said firmly. "Each family should detail their experiences. Then, we request a formal investigation into Jefferson Dance Academy's handling of previous complaints." "Will the police believe us?" Lisa asked nervously. "Multiple reports show a pattern," Diana explained. "That's much harder to dismiss." "What about Jasmine's NDA?" Marcus asked. "Non-disclosure agreements cannot legally prevent someone from reporting a crime," Diana said. "Especially crimes against children. We'll argue that the Academy used the NDA to cover up child endangerment." "I'm afraid," Jasmine admitted. "But I'm more afraid of what happens if we do nothing." Marcus nodded. "My daughter trusted me enough to tell me the truth. Now I need to show her that speaking up makes a difference." As they left the lawyer's office, Marcus felt a mix of emotions: anger, fear, but also hope. For the first time since Maya's revelation, he felt they had a path forward. "Mr. Johnson," Jasmine called as he walked to his car. "Thank you for finding me. I've been carrying this secret for too long." "We're in this together now," Marcus told her. "All of us." That night, when Marcus tucked Maya into bed, she asked, "Will people believe me, Dad?" "Yes, baby girl," he said firmly. "And you're not alone anymore." The police station was busy when Marcus and Maya walked in. Officer Rodriguez, a woman with kind eyes, led them to a small room with blue walls and a table. "Maya, I know this is hard," Officer Rodriguez said gently, "but I need you to tell me everything that happened with Mr. Reynolds, just like you told your dad." Maya looked at her father, who nodded encouragingly. With a deep breath, she began her story. Officer Rodriguez wrote everything down, sometimes asking Maya to clarify details. Marcus felt proud watching his daughter speak with such courage, even though her voice sometimes shook. "You're doing great, sweetheart," Marcus said when Maya paused. After they finished, Officer Rodriguez explained what would happen next. "We'll investigate these claims and speak with Mr. Reynolds. We'll also interview other students and teachers at the academy." Later that day, Marcus received a phone call from Diana Williams, their lawyer. "The police have received 7 reports about Mr. Reynolds now," she told him. "Your case is getting stronger." 7? Marcus was shocked. "There are more families we don't know about?" "Yes. After the police began investigating, more parents came forward," Diana explained. "And we have something else. Academy emails that Jasmine's father kept, despite the NDA. They show Miss Foster knew about Reynolds' behavior for years." "What happens now?" Marcus asked. "The district attorney's office is reviewing the case," Diana said. "They'll decide whether to press criminal charges. Meanwhile, we're filing a civil lawsuit against both Reynolds and the Academy for negligence and covering up abuse." The next morning, Marcus was making breakfast when his phone buzzed with a news alert. He nearly dropped the phone when he saw the headline: "Ballet Instructor accused of inappropriate conduct with multiple students." The article mentioned no names since the case involved minors, but everyone in their community would know which academy it was. Marcus called Diana immediately. "I see the news broke," she said. "Be prepared, things will get intense now." She was right. By afternoon, the academy sent an email to all parents. "Jefferson Dance Academy is aware of unsubstantiated allegations against one of our instructors. We are cooperating with authorities but stand by our faculty's professionalism. Classes will continue as scheduled." "Unsubstantiated?" Marcus read aloud, his voice rising. 7 reports is pretty substantial to me." The phone rang. It was Karen, her voice panicked. "Have you seen the parents' group chat? Some of them are defending Reynolds. They're saying our kids are making it up for attention." "We expected pushback," Marcus reminded her, though his stomach knotted with worry. "Stay strong." "Zoe's being bullied by the other dancers," Karen said. "They're saying she's trying to ruin the academy." Similar calls came from the other parents. Their children were facing backlash from students whose parents believe Reynolds was innocent. Maya came home from school in tears after former dance friends refused to sit with her at lunch. "Did I do something wrong, Dad?" she asked. "No, baby." Marcus pulled her into a hug. "You did something brave. Sometimes being brave means facing people who don't understand." That evening, Diana called with news. The academy placed Reynolds on leave, but they're still defending him publicly. However, we found 2 former teachers who say they reported concerns about him to Ms. Foster years ago and were ignored. They're willing to testify. A small victory, but important. Marcus shared the news with the other families in their growing support group. Later, as Marcus tucked Maya into bed, she asked, "Will it be worth it, Dad? All this hard stuff we're going through?" Marcus sat on the edge of her bed. "Yes, it will. You know why? Because speaking the truth matters, and because no teacher should ever make a student feel unsafe." Maya nodded and squeezed her father's hand. Outside, rain began to fall, but inside, despite everything, Marcus felt the warm glow of certainty. They were doing the right thing, no matter how difficult the path. 3 weeks after filing the police reports, Marcus sat in the district attorney's office. Ms. Olivia Chen, a serious woman with rectangular glasses, looked through the growing case file. "Mr. Johnson, we're moving forward with criminal charges against Peter Reynolds," Ms. Chen announced. "Sexual harassment of minors, child endangerment, and inappropriate conduct with students." Marcus exhaled slowly. "Thank you. What about the academy?" "We're investigating Ms. Foster and the board for failure to report suspected child abuse, which is legally required of educators." Ms. Chen adjusted her glasses. "The evidence suggests they knew about Reynolds' behavior for years." When Marcus shared this news with the other families later that day, there were tears and hugs of relief. "But this is just the beginning," Diana reminded them. "The criminal case will move forward, and so will our civil lawsuit. Both will be difficult." The next morning, Marcus woke up to his phone ringing. It was a reporter from the local newspaper. "Mr. Johnson, we'd like to interview you about the Jefferson Dance Academy case," the reporter said. "Your name came up as the parent who started the investigation." Marcus hesitated. "I need to protect my daughter's privacy." "Of course. We won't name any of the children," the reporter promised. "But this story needs to be told. Other dance schools in the area should learn from what happened." After talking with Diana and Maya, Marcus agreed to an interview without using their real names. The article appeared 2 days later on the front page. "The father fight is for justice. How one diad exposed years of misconduct at prestigious dance academy." The article detailed how Marcus discovered the pattern of abuse, found Jasmine, and brought the families together. It also revealed that police were investigating whether academy officials had ignored at least 12 previous complaints about Reynolds over 8 years. The public response was immediate. The academy's phones rang constantly with angry parents. Their social media pages filled with outraged comments. Several major sponsors pulled their support. Ms. Foster finally released a new statement. "Jefferson Dance Academy takes these allegations very seriously. We have placed Mr. Reynolds on unpaid leave and are cooperating fully with authorities. The safety of our students is our highest priority." "Now they care about safety," Karen said bitterly when the parents met again. "Only because they're losing money." The academy's attempt to control the damage continued. They announced new policies for student protection, including cameras in all classrooms and open-door teaching. "Too little, too late," Jasmine commented when she heard the news. Meanwhile, Reynolds hired a powerful attorney who made a statement to the press. "My client denies all allegations. These accusations come from misunderstandings of proper dance instruction techniques. Mr. Reynolds has taught thousands of students successfully for 20 years." Despite this pushback, more evidence emerged. 2 more former students came forward with similar experiences from years ago. A former receptionist revealed she had seen Reynolds taking students into his office alone with the door closed, against academy policy. One evening, Maya came into the living room where Marcus was reviewing case documents with Diana. "There's something I haven't told you," Maya said quietly. Marcus felt his heart skip. "What is it, sweetie?" "Mr. Reynolds has videos," Maya said. "He recorded our private lessons sometimes. He said it was to review my technique, but he never showed me the videos." Diana sat up straight. "This is important, Maya." Did he use his phone or a camera? A small black camera on a tripod, Maya replied. He kept it in his office cabinet. Diana immediately called Ms. Chen. Within hours, police obtained a warrant to search Reynolds' office and home. The next day, Diana called with news that made Marcus sink into a chair. They found the videos, Diana said. Not just of Maya, but dozens of students over years. Ms. Chen says this evidence makes the case much stronger. Marcus felt a mix of horror and validation. Will Maya need to watch them? No, Diana assured him. The police have experts for that. But this discovery changes everything. That night, as Marcus checked on sleeping Maya, he whispered, "We're going to win this, baby girl. Justice is coming." The Jefferson County Courthouse stood tall and imposing. Marcus straightened Maya's collar as they climbed the stone steps. Today was their first court appearance for the criminal case against Mr. Reynolds. "Are you ready?" Marcus asked gently. Maya nodded, though her hands trembled slightly. "I'm scared, but I want to do this." Inside, the courtroom was larger than Maya expected. Wooden benches filled the room. A judge's desk sat at the front, high above everything else. Diana met them at the door and led them to seats near the front. "Remember what we practiced," Diana said. "Just tell the truth about what happened." Other families arrived. Karen with Zoe, Lisa with Emma, and more. They nodded to each other, a silent army of support. Jasmine slipped in and sat behind them. At exactly 9:00 a.m., a side door opened. Mr. Reynolds walked in with his lawyer. Maya stiffened when she saw him. He looked smaller somehow, in his dark blue suit, not wearing his usual dance clothes. He didn't look at the families. "All rise," called the court officer. Everyone stood as Judge Patricia Watkins entered the courtroom. The hearing began with formal charges being read. Mr. Reynolds pleaded not guilty to all counts. His lawyer argued that the videos found were instructional materials and showed nothing inappropriate. "Your Honor," the district attorney countered, "these videos focus primarily on young female students' bodies in ways that have no instructional purpose. Furthermore, they were hidden and never shared with students or parents." When it was time for witness testimonies, Maya was called first. She walked to the front, her legs feeling like jelly. After being sworn in, she sat in the witness chair and looked out at the crowded room. "Maya," Ms. Chen said gently, "can you tell the court about your experiences with Mr. Reynolds?" Taking a deep breath, Maya began. She described the uncomfortable touching, the strange comments, the secret photography sessions. Her voice grew stronger as she spoke. "He said I had the perfect dancer's body and would touch my waist, my shoulders, sometimes my legs," Maya explained. "It felt different from how Ms. Williams taught us. His hands would stay too long. It made me feel weird and scared." Mr. Reynolds' lawyer tried to confuse Maya during cross-examination. "Isn't it true that ballet requires physical corrections?" he asked. "Yes," Maya answered. "And did Mr. Reynolds need to correct your form?" "Yes, but..." "So he touched you as part of teaching, correct?" Maya looked directly at the lawyer. "There's a difference between a quick tap to fix position and letting your hands stay there while whispering in someone's ear. Other teachers didn't make me feel uncomfortable or scared." The lawyer had no response to this. One by one, the other girls testified. Their stories were similar: unwanted touching, strange comments, private lessons that felt wrong. Jasmine described her experiences from 5 years earlier, explaining how the academy had paid her family to keep quiet. Then came the academy employees. A former receptionist testified that she had reported concerns about Reynolds to Ms. Foster 3 times but was ignored. A former teacher described walking in on Reynolds alone with a student in a locked office. The most powerful testimony came from a detective who had reviewed the videos found in Reynolds' possession. "These are not instructional videos," the detective stated firmly. "They focus inappropriately on specific body parts of minor female students. Many were taken without the students' knowledge." Reynolds' face grew pale as the evidence mounted. His lawyer kept whispering to him, looking increasingly worried. At the end of the day, Judge Watkins spoke directly to the families. "I want to commend these young ladies for their courage in coming forward," she said. "This court takes these allegations very seriously." As they left the courthouse, reporters waited outside. Marcus shielded Maya from their cameras. How do you feel about today's hearing? One reporter called out. Maya surprised her father by stepping forward. I feel strong, she said clearly. And I hope other kids who feel scared will tell someone they trust. That's what I did, and my dad believed me. Walking to the car, Marcus put his arm around Maya's shoulders. I'm so proud of you, he whispered. I know, Dad, Maya said, standing taller than she had in months. I'm proud of us too. 6 months after that first court appearance, Marcus and Maya returned to the Jefferson County Courthouse for the final verdict. The criminal trial had lasted 4 weeks, revealing even more evidence against Mr. Reynolds and the Dance Academy's leadership. The courtroom was packed. Reporters filled the back rows. All the families sat together in the front, holding hands for support. Maya wore a new blue dress that Marcus had bought specially for this day. All rise, announced the court officer as Judge Watkins entered. After everyone sat down, Judge Watkins looked at the paper in front of her. In the case of State versus Peter Reynolds, this court has reached a verdict. The room fell completely silent. Maya squeezed her father's hand so tight it almost hurt. On all counts of sexual harassment of minors, inappropriate conduct, and child endangerment, this court finds the defendant, Peter Reynolds, guilty. A wave of gasps and quiet sobs filled the courtroom. Maya buried her face in her father's shoulder. Mr. Reynolds, Judge Watkins continued, you abused your position of trust to harm vulnerable children in your care. This court sentences you to 8 years in prison. Additionally, you will be registered as a sex offender and permanently barred from teaching or working with children in any capacity. Reynolds showed no emotion as officers led him away. His lawyer quickly left the courtroom without speaking to reporters. Next came the civil case judgment against Jefferson Dance Academy. This court finds Jefferson Dance Academy and its director, Diane Foster, liable for negligence and failure to protect students. Judge Watkins announced. The academy must pay damages to each affected family and implement a complete overhaul of their safety policies under court supervision. Outside the courthouse, the families gathered on the steps. Diana stood with them as reporters approached. This is a victory not just for these brave children, Diana told the cameras, but for all students. It sends a clear message that those in positions of authority must protect the children in their care. Marcus was asked to speak next. When my daughter first told me what was happening, I promised her I would keep her safe. Today, that promise extends to all children. No child should fear their teacher. No parent should have their concerns dismissed. Later that evening, the families gathered at Marcus's house for a small celebration. The mood was a mix of relief, joy, and healing. The children, who had once been afraid to talk about what happened, now spoke freely about their feelings. What will you do now? Karen asked Maya. I'm starting dance classes at Community Arts Center next week, Maya said with a smile. Jasmine is teaching there. She says dance should always make you feel strong and happy, never scared. As the party wound down, Jasmine pulled Marcus aside. I've been thinking about what you did, she said. How one father's determination changed everything. It made me realize I want to do more. What do you mean? Marcus asked. I'm starting a program for young dancers to learn about appropriate teaching methods and how to speak up if something feels wrong, Jasmine explained. Would you and Maya help me with it? We'd be honored, Marcus replied. Later that night, after everyone had gone home, Maya found her father sitting on the back porch. Dad, she said, sitting beside him, remember when I asked if speaking up would be worth it? Marcus nodded. I do. You were right, Maya said softly. It was hard, but it was worth it. Mr. Reynolds can't hurt any more kids. I'm not afraid anymore. Marcus put his arm around her shoulders. You know, Maya, some people think courage means not being scared. But real courage is being scared and doing the right thing anyway. That's what you did. Maya leaned her head against her father's shoulder. Above them, stars filled the clear night sky. We did it together, she said. The next morning, Marcus woke to find Maya in the living room, stretching in her new dance clothes. What are you doing up so early? He asked. Maya smiled, brighter than he had seen in over a year. Just practicing. I have a lot of dancing to catch up on. Watching his daughter move with joy and confidence again, Marcus knew that although their court battle was over, their journey of healing and helping others had just begun.